Debbie Romero is your host today on Transcend with Debbie and can be found on all platforms. She's a renowned international evidential psychic medium, Reiki master, Munike certified, and empowerment teacher who is holding space to bring awareness with other like-minded souls as we raise the vibration collectively for humanity with awareness, inspiration, love, compassion, and healing. Now your host, Debbie Romero.
Hey, happy Wednesday, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is an honor to be back as a host on Transcend with Debbie on Things Network, on Derek Akora's page, my girl, Sacred Spiral, and those who are following on YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe. And if you're a friend of mine and you're on my personal page, don't forget to give the girl a follow on Sacred Spiral, Things Network, Transcend with Debbie on all platforms. That is what it's about. Behind the scene, I have an amazing friend by the name of Jeffery Peck, who's going to be joining us today. Fabulous. He holds space in such a beautiful way with his network, with what he does on Something Spiritual. So I hope I'm saying this right. Let me bring him in. Let him say it because it's got me tongue twisted for a second. Jeffery Peck, my friend, come on in. I wanted to say Something Spiritual Natural, but I know I was twisting it wrong. Go ahead, friend. Well, tell me.
Super spiritual.
There you go. Say it again.
Something super spiritual.
That. And for those who have not followed him, please give my friend a great follow. He's amazing what he does, and he also works with amazing mediums, healers, astrologists, lots of people who are creative, intuitive, have had multiple different experiences in life. And trust me, this is a follow you want to have. So Jeffery, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Debbie. I just love you to smithereens, and I just like to hang out with you anytime I can.
Yeah, likewise. I've had the honor to meet you a couple of years back, and we took this course, and it was like, live on air, and it's like, really, we're now live on air. And
oh gosh, yes.
Do you remember that?
Totally.
Do you remember? You're like, quick, what do you have? And tell me this, and tell me that, and I'm just like, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me.
Oh my God, totally. Yes. And I absolutely crashed and burned in that exercise. And it just was hilarious.
You did amazing. I think you read me. And I remember our teacher at that time, she was like, okay, it's Christmas, but what is happening during Christmas? Are there cookies being made? Are there this being, it's like, we really had to unfold the evidence, and we're calling, I'm your caller and you're talking to me. And, it's really cool to be able to come and collaborate like that with a sacred space where we can step out of our comfort zone and just be a service to spirit, right?
Completely.
And so, talk to us. Tell us a little bit about Jeffery and what you want the world to know about you.
What do I want the world to know about me? Well, like you, I am an evidential psychic medium. I came into all of this later in life. I wasn't speaking to any grandparents from the crib. In 2006, I became attuned to the Reiki, and that's when my life completely did a 180. And over that first weekend, it ignited all the spiritual senses all at once, and I thought I was losing my mind. So, and then during the Reiki treatments with people immediately afterwards, that's when the loved ones started coming in. That's when all the energetic psychic impressions started coming in. I thought I was losing my mind. And suddenly, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives, and just one right after another. And it's been, how long? 18 years about. And
right.
Yeah.
I love that you say that. You right now, you just given me a memory of how many different teachers we've gone through, and how many transformations we've gone through, and rebirths and changes. And, you saying that you having this awakening after your Reiki session. And I remember talking to you about this, and we've all gone through these journeys of awakening to spirit where we feel guided, whether it's Reiki or trance or, Tai Chi, or just, going into the evidential mediumship part of it, some type of healing modality. always being presented with a teacher or someone that's going to come into our alignment to say, ta-da, I'm here for you. It's like Spirit gives you this little beautiful basket of tools and lessons to learn as you evolve and change, right?
Yes.
I know that we're definitely not the same people who we were when we first started.
No.
Tell me what that's like for you.
No. Oh yeah. So when you and I met a few years ago, this was a last minute decision. Spirit gives puts these opportunities synchronistically in front of our path. And this particular workshop by Colby Rebel,
yeah,
it was last minute. I hadn't even thought about it, and it was take your gifts on air, and I did it at the very last second. And so when we follow those intuitions, those little nudges by our guides and guardians and whoever else is over there giving us our little shoves,
right?
We get into this place where we're scared and we're unsure and we're a little bit terrified and we don't want to come and we don't want to look like a fool and but we are in these places with these teachers where the teacher, the other colleagues in there with us, our other students, we're all holding space for each other. Right?
We really are.
Space for each other to figure this all out together. And that's what we're doing. We're figuring it all out. We start through that development in the development stages, the unfolding, and it's a lifelong of development of an unfolding. And we really start to recognize what those senses feel like on our insides. We start to learn how the messages come through for us. We start to learn how our clairvoyance works, how our clairaudience works. And it's really, I love those experiences. I'm really glad you brought that up because, and through those experiences with those classes and teachers, we meet I like to say we re-meet each other. It's like you and I, two old friends coming back after decades of not seeing each other. And that's so many of us and the colleagues that have turned into really lifelong friends. Yeah.
Right. I agree. I too, like you, I saw that class pop up and I'm like, you know what? Let me take this class. Like, I want to go on air. Let me see what's this about, And what we learn is that as we are coming together, we are holding space for one another, especially when we're in groups and we're all trying just to learn and understand how to develop at the frequency and vibration that we are needing to do the work for Spirit. Because we are a service to Spirit, and there's integrity of learning from the right people that we are feeling divinely guided to connect with, to say, I see you, I got you, I know what we can do to bring forward that energy the way you exactly need it this moment. And, when I'm watching you work, or I remember my girlfriend Becky was in there, Becky Priest, she was in that class. I remember my
Becky.
friend, and Karina, like we were all in there. Me and Karina, my girl, my angel girl, we were in there. She's like, Deb, did you see this? I'm like, yeah, let's go. And so this is how it all grows, right? Like behind the scenes, all of us are like, say, girl, did you see this class? Or girl, did you see that class? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And so we rally up and we come together. But when we're all in that group and we're holding space, it's like, oh, that's what's up. Look at him get down. And it's like honoring and you caught my attention in seconds. Like, ooh, look at Jeffery go. Like, that's right. Go ahead, get in there. And I'm like, California? Okay, I'm in California. He's in California. So like, let's network this baby. Like, let's go, right? So Spirit knows how to drop and create those moments of where there's an alignment, They really do. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful for Colby Rebel. I'm grateful for her sassiness and how she's like, all right, Deb, get in there. What do you got? And I'm like, oh, I ain't got nothing.
I know. Yeah. Given that space, that safe space to really like go for it and to not be afraid and to dare to get it wrong.
Right.
It's in that safe space where we really truly recognize, the messages that are coming through from the divinity, from Spirit,
right,
from guardians, loved ones, whomever,
right,
versus our own insides. We start to recognize the difference in what that feels like, and it's in that where we, really develop and grow.
Right, and I think too is also honoring your own intuition, right? Like I know for me, my journey was like 25 plus years. Okay. So it's like, obviously 20 something, I'm almost in my 50s, y'all. So let's just put it like that very kindly. But if you go back and, 30 years, 20 something years back, I was a little brat. I was like, girl, you need to make some changes. You need to get your life together. Like, let's calm some things down. Like, let's spirit in. Let's bring in some universal energy, some love and some self-care.
Ruth.
Right. And so obviously I'm a little gentler. I'm a little calmer. I still got my sassy, but I'm respectful. And so the journey within it is always with hopes to create change of who we are and what we like to see evolve. Right. So if you go back in your journey, Jeffrey, and you've said, I want to make some changes. What have you noticed if you take a glimpse back within yourself? Like, what did you do?
I love what you said about the journey within, and it's true. The journey within cultivates the journey without. And if we are running around in chaos and frenetic on our insides, it's that on our outsides. And for instance, like the first major change for me was 2008. It was after I became attuned to the Reiki in 2006. In 2008, I was doing mortgages, and we all know what happened in 2008. I mean, whew.
Yeah.
So many people, so many banks, businesses, so many people went down in flames. I went down in flames with it. I lost my house to foreclosure. I lost my car to repossession. I had bankruptcy. I lost an 11-year relationship at the exact same time.
Right.
And this was after becoming attuned to the Reiki, becoming more aware of spirit and more aware of the path.
Right.
And I knew that there weren't things in alignment in all of these departments.
Right.
But I was fighting. I'm like, no, I'm going to make good money. I can do this. I can make good money.
Right.
I was in it for the wrong reasons.
Yes. Come on. Go ahead. Let's hear it, Mr. Jeffrey. I'm feeling you.
The relationship, there were difficulties in that, but I was determined to hold on. And, when the universe will pull the rug if you do not pay attention to your messages. And that rug got pulled. And that was the first time of that massive change where I just went into complete spiral, complete like dark night of the soul, right?
Yes.
I mean, like terrifying. So it's in that where we really like realize we have to surrender. Like we have no control any longer. The control is out the window. When in truth, the control, like you didn't have it. You didn't have it for so long.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. No, Jeffrey, you're speaking in the era of like many of us took that hit with the balloon loans changing, the market changing. I too myself was in the same position as you were. And as I sit there and I'm listening to you, I'm like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I was in it. And we do try to hold on, as Erica Neva says here, to the tower. And I know that we all try our best to hold on to what's falling apart. And then it's like you have that realization of like surrendering.
Yeah.
And you just like, the words that I would say is, it's going to be okay. And I remember certain family members were like, I'm so tired of you saying it's going to be okay. And it's like, that higher divine of energy of spirit saying, I got you, but you just don't know how, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's like trusting in that power of the unknown. So now that's 17 years ago, because I remember specifically, my son is 17. This is 18 years back that we're talking about, because let me tell you, Jeffrey, I was right there in it with you. So I know I have that marked in the timeline that soul healing was done for this girl to go in and like, baby girl, you got to let things go. Let's go, baby boy. We got this. And so transformation and change.
Yeah.
It is awaken your body to surrender and to touch into the elements of loss, even down to the relationship. And here you are 18 years later, almost. How do you see yourself today from that moment there?
Whew. Well, much different. much different. Because here's the thing. When we're in alignment with our soul, when we're in alignment with our purpose, it all comes into congruence. You really don't have to try that hard.
Right.
And that's what I recognized when, through the 2000s, through the 90s even, and the 2000s, I was always struggling and trying and pushing that boulder uphill,
Yeah.
When you're in alignment with your purpose, granted, it can still be scary, it can still be stressful, but there's an alignment, and you don't have to try, and you recognize that trust, and you recognize just to take a deep breath, close your eyes, count to 10 and go.
Right.
It's why I got these tattoos, fearlessly
That's right.
surrender.
Yes.
Surrender fearlessly, because it's about letting go of that control.
Right.
That we think we have. We can only do all our best, our very best. And that's the best. That's all we're required of. Just do our best, and just not go at it with expectations and demands that ultimately block us.
Right.
Right.
How many people in here have gone through this? I mean, we have a lot. We have a house full of people. Adam Berry was in here. Much love to Adam Berry.
Oh,
we love us some Adam Berry.
Yes,
he's amazing.
We do.
I know that you and I are not the only ones that have experienced this ebb and flow of loss and growth and rebirth and transformation, and holding on. It is an illusion of holding on. You're holding on and you're doing your best because you want to save what you were going through. But then, I had this moment the other day. It was like the Matrix, like you're sitting in the Matrix and everyone, you're looking at them in this outer body experience. And I'm just observing and I'm just like, this is different. I can see the soul, the feelings, the emotions of this timeline that is very different. Yeah. And you realize you just jumped another level of awareness. And you're just like, it's almost like so surreal. Like, okay, why am I holding on to something that is no longer exists within my timeline? It's like you have that epiphany of like, well, let's just keep going. Let's keep changing. And, you said it, the right teachers come, the right people come, the alignment comes, and everything should flow very gently and very nicely in a way that your spirit has manifested, right? Your spirit is aligned for your desires. And so those things that are not part of that do kind of move to the side.
They totally do. And you know what, honey, I left ethereal claw marks on everything, trying to hold on to everything. You had mentioned like holding onto the tower or trying to repair the tower as it's coming down. Oh, yeah, I was hanging on to everything. Yeah. Right.
Hey, Vanessa girl. That's what's up, my Vanessa. I love Vanessa. She's like, it's like a game, a video game, right? She's from your area. Oh, no, San Francisco. She's up north, Sacramento. So a little bit, still not too bad. Right. And you learn your lesson, you level up of awareness, and new lessons come. Ain't that the truth? So Paula, we talk for a little bit and then we go into reading. So like say some hellos. Let's give some hellos, Mr. Jeffrey. Go ahead and go to the comments to the right. Just let Jennifer. People know what's up. Yes. Hi, Keith. Jennifer girl. What's up, Heather?
Cheyenne. Helen. Hi, Helen. Nick. Hey, Nick. Paula, Erica, Heather. Hi, Heather.
I love that. Cheyenne is like so amazing. I love, and Jennifer McCormick, she's always like supporting Cheyenne. All of you always come, like you guys. I so deeply appreciate your support. And Samantha on Derek Akora's page, much love to you also. And Jeremy York on Things Network, and of course, Kelly Brickle, our girl, who's managing the comments now, who are just sending the links to follow. So I put some links in my personal page as well for those that are watching. Hello to you guys on Debbie Romero's page. So today was just a little talk about transformation, change, and rebirth. And when we go through that, it's like we're holding on. We're letting go, we're reevaluating, and sometimes we're just in it, and it's messy, and we're in it. Ooh, let me tell you.
Yeah, and it's so okay to be messy. It's so okay to
be
messy. It absolutely is. There's a lot.
I will say that it is okay to be messy. I'm just being sarcastic. That's my coffee kicking in.
And it's in that messiness where we truly meet ourselves. We meet that rawness. you know.
Right.
It's I think it's really important to remember that in that messiness, that to pour some grace on ourselves and just allow ourselves to be, just to be and experience it and feel it. I mean, that's why we're here. First and foremost, we are a spiritual, unlimited being, right?
Yes.
We came here to experience this vast array of emotion and experience and yin, yang, top, bottom, short, fat, we, you know, in everything in between.
Right.
So,
I literally, when you say that, I hear beast mode, like, yeah, like, let's go.
yeah.
And I think you said it in such a beautiful way, though, because when we're in that fight and we're in that deeper energies, we do forget to give ourselves grace, compassion. And isn't that when we need it the most? When we hurt the most, but we forget to do that for ourselves?
100%. And what's so interesting is we will our loved ones, our best friends, our closest people, our family, we give them grace. We sit there with them. We hold the space. Listen, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. We forget to do that for ourselves.
Right. And it's like we have gone through lessons, experiences, challenges, because we asked to be a service and we've asked for spirit to come closer. And so there is a shift in our structures and we have grace for the energy of spirit. And it's sometimes, even in those darker moments, we forget that we're the light. And we forget that we also can ask for help. And we can also ask for change again. And so this is a reminder to anybody that's in that moment of just a little bit of deeper healing. We all go through that. No one is...
Totally.
No, I would say, and if someone has a beautiful life and it's perfect, I'm sure they know someone that has gone through something so deep and so raw and so personal. And Jeffrey, you said that 18 years ago. I know that experience hit globally. 18 years ago, the market changed, the housing changed, and there was a change in work. And then COVID hit, and there's another change. So I feel like our world has gone through the dark night of the soul as well, collectively. And here you are with a smile in a different form, holding space. How beautiful are you?
Amen.
Right.
Amen. Yeah.
So let's pause for a second. Like Helen says, I like a break from messy. Girl, tell me. I'm telling you. You know, I sat with coffee with my aunt and I just smiled. Smiled through the mess. And I was like, well, that just happened. Well, that just happened. And it doesn't mean that I'm not realistic with it. I take a moment and I pause and I sit with it and I move it along.
Yeah.
What do you do when things are messy, Jeffrey?
You know what? Sometimes I just flat out have an anxiety attack.
Right.
And I think that there's so much in that space of that anxiety and that fear and that panic mode and that catastrophic, you know, like, the sky's falling, you know. But friends, loved ones, my partner, the community here, you know, we're all in this together, you know.
Right.
And my dogs, you know, I get outside, I walk with my bestie down the street, and it's just really about allowing it to just be and flow.
Yes.
And like you said, you know, it gets better. It'll get better. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. And I think we start to recognize that as we get older, because we've lived so much life and so through so many catastrophes, so to speak, you know, that we recognize, you know what, I was okay in the end. I was okay. I will be okay.
Right.
And then when we have each other, we're just so much better together.
Right. I love what Kelly says, diving into the feelings. Adam Berry, it's important to breathe when things get messy. For those who don't follow Adam Berry, he's a great follow. I remember having Adam on the show, and he talked about going to a retreat where he was going within, right? And so in silence.
The silent retreat. Yeah.
Do you remember he did that?
Yeah.
And he talked about, going within and grounding and staying in the nothing, and not even having words with the meditation, just pure silence. There's some power in just being with yourself. The chaos or the disharmony of the energies, you got to give them a minute to take a break so that we can bring the energy back to the harmony and the balance and the peace. It's a practice, but if you can just give yourself that moment to separate from the extra conversations of other people's opinions or the other extra feelings that are not yours, so that you can thread and comb through the moments of what you need and what you're feeling and what feels right. It takes time to get to that place. And then, of course, we invite spirit and we invite the energies to come in for that extra help.
Yeah. And
then we take action. So we can create a shift, but we also must walk that change. And we also, this is for me, this is what I do. So I hope this helps you, but it takes time. And I've learned from amazing people like Adam, Jeffrey, Kelly, all of us as a community have donated their time and experiences and shared their stories, which gives us an opportunity to fill into, I could do that. I can bring in the healings of the colors. I can bring in the energies in the way my spirit needs it. And so it's important for all of us to pause to say within, what do I need just in this moment, in 5 seconds, in this moment of pause?
Truth.
Deep, right?
Amen, sister.
I think we forget to do that. And it's hard sometimes to do that.
Hard. It's so
Definitely.
hard. You know, when we're in the thick of it like that, when we're there, it's so easy to be in that space of guilt and shame because our own inner critic is looking at everything. And our own inner critic says, well, you coulda and you shoulda, and why didn't you? And this, this could have been here. We could have been there, and we get into that place of that, just that inner critic.
Right. Even prayer, and the pause is perfect.
Yeah.
And prayer, mantra, Ho'oponopono prayer, getting a Reiki session as it created that change for you, hugging you both. Much love to you, Kevin. Hey, I'm so glad you popped in. We'll see you soon. Yeah, I think for me, when I would have a really bad day, I love to go look at art. And I love to go and look at the colors of the art. I love to go to the churches and just to see the old history of of the statues, of the art pieces, and just sit. And I could do that for days. I love a good little walk down the churches or the missions and things like that. So yeah, so whatever works for you. Thank you, Jeffrey, for talking about transformation, rebirth, and change. Let's give some reads. Let's go to the audience and see who's open, and whatever you feel, whether it's a Reiki healing, whether you want to do an oracle card, a mediumship. I'm going to leave the platform for you to flow, and I will follow your lead. Okay, friend?
Okay. All right. So, I saw somebody earlier ask for, you know how fast these comments go. What you did on my show the other day. Let's do a roll call. Who's here?
Roll call. People be popping in and out, Jeffrey. So they're like, oh, alive here. They didn't do no reading, so let me come back. So roll call. Where are you from? Give Jeffrey some love. Follow Sacred Spiral Things Network and Derek Cora's page. And of course, your girl, Debbie. Don't forget to follow Debbie. We like follows, Okay. Lola saying hello, Jeffrey. Oh.
Lola. Hey, Lola.
I want to give Lola the song. What Lola wants, Lola gets.
All right. You know what, darling? I'm gonna go with Paula. Paula caught my eye. Paula Smith. She said, please relationship guidelines. So, Paula, I want to encourage you to take a breath. There's a feeling of I feel the sense of overthinking. Will you please let me know you're still here, Paula? She's a little bit up. There she is. I have this sense of overthinking, like really like going in and like trying to control. There's this feeling, hi Paula, there you are. There's this feeling of like trying to manage that which might not be yours to manage, i.e. emotions, actions. We can only manage ourselves, and we can only manage our own response to those around us. There's this feeling where I want to encourage you to also, you know what, the word that just flew into my head was the grace. I really want to encourage you to splash some grace on your face and allow yourself to just be within this. There's this feeling of you know what? There's this feeling of trying. See, I'm going back to this feeling of ethereal claw marks. Okay, ethereal claw marks on expectations and demands. Does this make sense, Paula?
Mm-hmm.
There's this feeling. I feel this struggle. I feel this fear, and I want to encourage you to really like go within and recognize that you are enough and you are worth what you know you are worth.
Mm.
There are
Yes.
times when we can't and we shouldn't have to coach a relationship into existence.
Mm.
Now, granted, we are with partnership, our partners, husbands, whatever, we're wives, you know, we're in partnerships at times. And there are times where we do have to lean on each other and coach each other and remind each other because life gets messy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to remind you how truly beautiful your heart is and where you are and what your intentions are, and to turn that all back around for yourself.
Mm.
That's where it begins. And the relationship, and I feel like it's more than one. It's more than just the love relationship.
Mm-hmm.
When we recognize that internal value and that internal worth, they start to see it in us through different filters and lenses as well.
Right.
So I really like the ultimate. I want to give you a giant hug from here. I want to remind you how amazing you are, how amazing your intentions are, and the beauty that you have to offer those around you. And now just to really turn it back there. Yeah. You feel you can't do anything right. So stop. That's, I just want to just stop. Take a breath.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. I think Paula, when I feel into her energy, it's like, you know, sometimes we say we're the writer of our story. And I feel like she's at work and she's in her office and she's constantly working. She's typing and I see her coming away. So I feel like she's, you know, someone who's very, has a lot of work ethic, but it's also changing the page of your story. Spirit literally gave me the paper and just went like this flip. Like, let's change her story, baby. So I know I felt Father present when he was speaking, and it's like, I just want to let you know that you're okay. I'm ready for walking out of 30-year relationship. Wow. God bless your spirit, friend.
Mm-hmm. Bless you.
And
Yeah.
so, you know, so it's like you have support from spirit world. I feel like, you know, I definitely feel Father stepping forward. I definitely feel a gentleman just protecting you. And I feel this gentleman was in the service. I feel like this person either smoked this gentleman that comes to my awareness, and they're reminding you of your own spiritual gifts and your energy and how you can move forward. A woman steps forward who feels very much like a mother, also gives you flowers and a reminder of her garden, and you having all, and the way I look at the flowers are basically, it's almost like your garden is full. So it's like each blossom flower is all the work that you have done in the 30 years. So these 30 years of your relationship, whether it's work or whether it's family or your loved one, they're showing me that you have all the tools and the essentials to take the steps forward. So not only his mother loves her flowers, but I also feel this is a representation of your journey within your work that you have done. And I just want to give you like the cosmos, because this gentleman just comes forward and I feel like you're very divinely connected. You're just waiting for the right time. So your partner, I feel like you're ready and you're just waiting for the right time to move forward. So I apologize if this is your partner, this gentleman in spirit world, as he comes forward. They're just giving me that impression that you're waiting for the alignments of the stars to take the step forward, to interact and to make the changes. So follow that intuition. It's within you. Your heart is guiding you. So I leave you with their love. And look at this, Jeffrey. We can't make this up. The cosmic connections. So she's waiting for the cosmic, like the divine cosmic connections to do things in order. It's like, yes, it's a mountain, but baby girl, you got it. You're on top.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Speaking of, I sit here and I'm always holding these and I'm always holding them. But the card that came up for me was divine timing. So I had finished talking. You were doing your thing. Divine timing came up. You get that cosmic order. Yeah, absolutely.
It's all, again, we're going to go back to alignment, right? Going back to the alignment of everything. And so you are, baby girl, in a divine alignment. Spirit is there and they're pushing you. So I know that there is this ring that you're working through, my stepdad in spirit. If I go to this gentleman in spirit world, he would have had a lung issue. He would have smoked. He loved a fancy car. He loved the race cars. I feel like with him, he can work on cars. I also feel I would have had arthritis in my right hand or some type of ache or pain within my right hand. I feel like he was someone who was very busy, very active, liked to put things together. I feel like if the kids were around, he would build the things for them. So this gentleman makes me feel like I'm very active. I hear the name Dave, so I don't know if you have a connection to Dave, but I also feel that as he comes closer to me, he tells me that you have a picture of him on the side of the bed next to a dresser, like a two drawer dresser, and I feel like his belongings are in the bottom of the dresser. So this person is what he's saying to me. So I hope that is evidential that you need, that he's bringing forward to me. Okay, Mr. Jeffrey. We'll go to the next one. Let's see where we go.
Oh, all right.
After she said, so we'll leave you with their love, Paula.
Thank you, Paula. Yeah, we're hugging you. We're hugging you from here. Hey, Jennifer. I saw Tina. Where's Tina? Tina, I saw very open for there it is. Okay. Yeah, there is this feeling of really needing to make some decisions. Tina, does this make sense to you? I feel like I need to make some decisions. I feel like I'm procrastinating on making these decisions. I feel like I feel the sense of anxiety and I feel the sense of stress and fear. And I know I need to make some choices. There's this feeling of, I feel like that there's a change with you, Tina. There's a shift in where you are in the moment. And I say where you are, and I feel like it's with career or with your work, how you earn your money, could be changing. And I also feel like a shift in your where you live, that could be changing. Those two are swirling around in your field. And I want to encourage you also to just really take a deep breath right now. Take a deep breath. I feel like there's some clarity that is necessary before any of these decisions are made. Okay. I know that it feels like you're behind the 8 ball. I know it feels like that you have to, there's a sense of like, I have to rush. And I'm not encouraging you to sit on it, but I really want to encourage you to sit with yourself and take some deep breaths and center yourself. Because ultimately, when we get to this place where we need to make choices, ultimately, we know the direction we're supposed to go, but we're either afraid or we don't want to leave the familiarity. A lot of times the familiar is more comfortable than the fear of the unknown, right? And there's this sense of, so I just had this as I'm touching into this, I just saw this big, beautiful rainbow and I saw autumn leaves. And I really want to, it feels to me, there's a lot of clarity coming this summer. It feels to me like you have, like by the time summer ends, when autumn comes, you have much more clarity on what you're supposed to be doing and where you're going. I don't feel like it doesn't feel like your whole life is uprooted, but there are certain changes that I really want to, like, there's a part where I feel like I want to remind you how exciting this opportunity is. A lot of times when we're here and we're in that fear, we forget about the exciting changes, on how life can truly be different. And it really can. We dream about the flow. We dream about, the better job, or a better living situation, or a better, better relationship, or, but a lot of times we're too afraid to take those first steps.
Yeah.
So those steps are what's up for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to remind you to pay attention to that excitement and that giddiness on your insides when you recognize what truly is ahead of you.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Tina, are you still here, Tina? You had me like in a little like trance, Jeffrey, when you were talking. I was like, whoa. Well, here she is. Uh-oh. I hope so. Not sure what changes. Maybe I'll just know that I'm stressed. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart, and financially tight. God bless you, Tina. I feel that writing is important for you. So I feel like with you, Tina, and you can correct me here, and I want to make sure I'm with you. So yeses and the no's would be great as we're working. And I feel like writing, and I feel like you have a story, and I feel like your experiences with those stress, or we talk about the different layers that we work through. It's like getting it out of your body. Whether this is, I feel like you're listening to self-help podcastings. I feel like you're looking at ways to make changes, and I feel like a rose. Spirit is working with flowers with me today. I see this rose that comes in such a beautiful way with white and pink. So it's like that psychic awareness and that purity of love. And I just want to give that to you as a token of love from Spirit, right? Tina, if you would understand this with writing, getting it, out of your body, and listening to self-help, like other podcastings, because that's what I'm being shown at this moment. I also feel like when I come into your energy, or I feel into your essence, I feel like you're a thinker. And so I feel like when you're thinking, it's like, okay, what do I do next? It's like, just kind of honor those emotions and those feelings that Jeffrey is speaking about. I also get the sense, again, writing a book or writing is going to really, really help move the energy for you, because they keep showing me writing a book, whether you're an author or you're someone who is a creative flow, like look at the writing. It's like almost too, there's a gentleman that wants to step forward, but he's got this personality of like, in spirit, I feel very shy, I feel like when he comes closer, he makes me feel like there's pictures of him on the wall. He makes me feel like I want to talk about children, family. So I feel like there's a loss or a change here as well, is what they're showing me, Tina, if you would understand this. And I feel like a dog in spirit dog is also being acknowledged, but I feel like it's I don't want to say it's in spirit, but I feel like this young man in spirit is acknowledging this dog as well. It's like a golden retriever is what's being brought forward to my awareness. So there's support from spirit world and energy that's coming to remind you of the pictures, of the writings, of your inspirational words that you use to keep you going. So it's like almost creating that mantra, that affirmation. I want to say keep your eye on making those changes, if that makes sense. So it's in alignment with Jeffrey's saying. I don't see you in here to see if they say the yeses and the nos, but that's what I got. So keep going, girl. Like, you got this.
Yeah, and going back to what you said, these changes, it feels like there's somebody swirling around your field with regard to your work, with regard to how you earn your money. It feels like that is what is changing. I know you just said financially tight, but I feel like there's opportunities coming to you that will open that door a little bit more for you. There's shift there, and that's where that excitement comes, this giddiness, where I feel like, oh yes, not only are you able to quote, make your bills, but there's extra.
Yes. So she's saying, not familiar with the dog, knowing and praying things get worse, and my soul is what keeps me going. Things don't get worse. I understand. So let's open it up, because I might be just reading someone that's coming in. So Tina, do you understand of having a young man in spirit? Because I might not be with Jeffrey, and I might actually just be working with the actual soul that's wanting to come through. So for me, I'm going to leave you with the self-help, the self-care, and keeping it positive and light to help your body. And they're just showing me writing. So I'm going to leave that with you. And I'm going to open this up a little bit, Jeffrey, if you don't mind, because obviously there's a soul that's trying to come through. And I feel like this is a little bit with the mediumship. And so I would like to open it up for everybody that's here. So please, everybody, listen. And let me know if it resonates. Don't think so, young man. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I definitely am working with somebody. So there is a different soul that's coming in from your link that is different, Jeffrey. So if I go to this person, I feel like I'm looking on the wall and there's a picture of him. And I feel like there's a sliding door, there's curtains, and I feel like there's a picture of him. And I feel like there's a gentleman that's in the picture. And I feel like it's a grandfather, a father who's also being acknowledged. I feel like within this picture, the gentleman is kind of sitting in the middle. It's got like a salt and pepper kind of a beard, mustache is what I'm getting here. Black jacket, black shirt. So I feel like he was very much the center in this picture. It's like family coming together is what I get. As I feel into this person, now this young man is acknowledging this gentleman who makes me feel like father, grandfather who would have had a heart condition. I feel also too with him, he needed oxygen because they just showed me oxygen placed upon him. I do feel the dog. So I do feel that there's also a dog with this gentleman as well. And so if I'm feeling into this energy, into this essence, it's like getting up, letting the dog out. I feel like this is a woman that's living that is definitely acknowledging grandfather and this young man. This young man, though, when he came to me, I felt him to be very shy. I felt him to be very quiet. Jeffrey, are you able to tap into what I'm doing here? Because I can sense Dana is feeling that it's her grandpa. But the picture has to be very precise because that was the detail that was given to me. It was on the side of the wall, black frame, shirt in the, his black shirt. That's the way that is exactly what he's wearing. And I feel like the sliding door is right on the side of this picture. So I know that I have to say this part has to be a match. And I feel like this is someone's brother that's being acknowledged as well when I tap into the young man. So Jeffrey, do you feel anything with this here?
No, darling, you were talking and I was feeling something completely different. I think something
they got us working differently today. I love it though. It's okay. Yeah. Gabi. Okay, Gabi. Okay, so Gabi, I know that he would have had a heart condition. I know he would have needed oxygen, but I have to look again. He's wearing a black shirt, salt and pepper, mustache, and I know that the dog I feel like the daughter, this woman, had to let the dog out, and I feel like either that just happened because I have to say that is what was being shown to me, if this makes sense. So Dana and Gabi, I want to work with both of you and kind of fill into both of you here to see what you would understand with this. I have to acknowledge somebody having a family member now not feeling well with their stomach. So I feel like somebody now, a sister or a sibling, is not feeling good. So I have to also acknowledge that someone is not feeling good. So Gabi, do you have a family member here that's like, it's making me sick to my stomach? Perhaps my dog just passed. Oh, Pepper Hair, my dog just passed too. Oh, mijita. Okay, I'm so sorry. And what about you, Dana, love? I'm going to work with you, Gabi, and then I want to also see where Dana's at with this because I know Dana also says she understood it. And I have to talk about the sibling or the sister who is just, I feel very sick to my stomach about this situation. Either I'm sick or I don't feel good because that's what is being brought to my awareness. Sorry. Yeah, I know, right, Kelly? And I'm just waiting for you, Gabi, to respond. Did we lose her? Okay, Gabi, let's work with you, and then I'll come back to Dana's not here either. So let's come back to you, Gabi, really quickly. If I were to acknowledge this gentleman, there's a picture of him on the wall. Maybe my sister is nervous because she's doing her, can you see what she said, Jeffrey?
A dissertation next week.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so this is an acknowledgement of you. So I want to work with you, Gabi, here, and I already know you on a personal level. So I know you're traveling this way, and I know you're coming to California from Texas. And I just feel Father is very excited. He's very happy, and I have to acknowledge, almost also now a little dog. So at first I had a really big dog, and now I'm acknowledging this little dog. And this little dog feels very Scottish, very one of those little Scottish dogs with the ears pointing, little brown, little salt and pepper with the dog as well. And I feel like this dog loved to be in the car. So I feel like as you travel, this little dog is also going to be with you as you travel, is the sense I get. I know that May was a month that was maybe a little bit different, challenging. And I just got to say, children, family are being acknowledged. I read for you before, daughter being acknowledged. I feel the gentleman's in your home being acknowledged. I also know that they're pushing you out of your comfort zone, Gabi. So if you're uncomfortable, just know that they're working with you in a different way. Yes, about the dog. Thank you. So I am with you. Okay. And so I know that when they're coming forward, there's this excitement that's stepping forward. I already know there's a graduation because you're my friend and I've read for you before we talk. And so I haven't read for you in a while, but I know that you're coming out here for that because we spoke. But I know that Father is also acknowledging this as well. I also know that your sister, there's this elevation he's coming into. It's almost like, when the fathers play with the kids and they're throwing them up in the air and there's this memory of oh, I got you. And so I feel like your father is just in honor of your sister graduating. It's just over the heels with all of this. So I feel like energetically, he's going to be by your side. And I feel like, Gabi, you either had a conversation with your father and you asked him to come. You asked him. So he's telling me that you asked him to be there. He shows me a little bit of a teary eye, a little emotion. And he's telling me that you asked him to be part of this experience. And so he's stepping forward to say that he heard you. And so I leave you with their love. I'm just going to leave it in that gentle way. And I'm going to pass it back to Jeffrey because Jeffrey also had another message for someone else. So go ahead, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Gabi. Thank you. We're hugging you. Yes, there was somebody that asked if this was the right move for my family. And there's a feeling, and I kind of lost it. The conversation went so fast. Dana Marie. Yes. Is this the right move for my family? Yes. I want to encourage. Yes. There's a feeling like I want to remind you that the signs had been pointing towards this and you knew that. There's also a feeling like I want to remind you that it's okay to pause. Like it's okay to pause and take a breath, take a beat. It's totally okay. But there is this feeling that on the other side of this, here's how it looks inside my head. Okay. The metaphor, it's like, those the dimmer switches that turn the lights up really bright and dim. Okay. The dimmer just went way up. So the lights just went, super bright. So that's the metaphor for me through this move. On the other side of this, that dimmer light switch goes all the way up. There's a lot more brightness. There's a lot more clarity. There's a lot more, I feel like I'm breathing. There's a lot more breathing room. There's a lot more, it feels to me like the family is in a better place, even together. However, that being said, I feel like that there is, bumps along the way, and to not get discouraged by those bumps along the way. The resistance that you might be feeling within the family, the fear, the unknowns, that's everybody just shifting outside and getting out of their comfort zone, right? So Dana, I hope that this resonates with you. I just saw that flash past my eyes as the comments were going up. And I just wanted to encourage you and remind you that, yes, you are following your intuition. You are doing the right thing. And I feel that, again, I'm going to go with the dimming switch is going all the way up. Oh.
I agree, Jeffrey. Sorry about that. I always mute when you're working, so I don't interrupt.
Oh.
So I try. So so I agree with you. Like I was seeing the vibrancy of the white light, that white light, like a new home. It's all vibrant. It's all white. It's new beginnings. It's purity. And I feel like she manifested this change for herself 2 years ago. So I feel like if I go 2 years ago, it's like, girl, celebrate, walk through that ribbon. Like step into that. own it, put your energy there and be like, yeah, this is where I belong, right? So beautiful job, Jeffrey. I feel that you're ready to go somewhere else, Jeffrey. Where are you ready to go?
Oh, Dawn Rose. That's the next one that just.
Oh, I love her. Dawn Rose is always hooking it up. Go, girl. And how do we say roll call? Who's still here? Where you from? Let's hear it. I love Dawn Rose. Go ahead, Jeffrey. I'll pass the mic to you.
So, Dawn, I have this sense that there is a time for a shift. I feel like that you are at a place of moving on. And I'm not quite sure where this lands, in which department in your life, but I feel like that there is this, you're at the precipice, at the threshold of change. It feels very exciting to me. It feels a little scary, but I think that's just the unknown. But I can't shake this feeling of like literally, like the visual that I have on my inside is like one leg over the threshold, the other leg, like 1 foot here and 1 foot there. And I really want to encourage you to feel the fear and do it anyway. You know what I mean? Let's
right.
Be honest. It feels so exciting to me. It feels like opportunities, doors, people open up on the other side. It feels like spirit has been nudging you this direction. And the resistance that we have, I don't want to, I'm not gonna, I don't wanna. But I really want to encourage you to sit with this, because there's so much here for you, and there's so much growth, and there's so much opportunity for your next level. Like you're leveling up in a way that you had been asking for, you have been praying for, and I love it.
Right.
I love it for you.
Right. And look at Jeffrey, what Jennifer's even like saying, I needed to hear that too. And I think a lot of us, we do a lot of things scared. Like, hello. I remember going into a job and I'm just like, okay, well, let's just go. I'm here. Someone said, you're never put in a position that spirit wouldn't say you're not ready for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, do it scared, girl, but just with all your might, just get it. And I know it's so hard to do certain things because we're afraid. And I know the energy that we could fill in the maybes, the could have, the would haves, or the should haves. And I know those feelings, but baby, when you're in there and she's like, I needed that. It's like, I feel like you have been on this journey for some time, like when spirit shows me a journey, it's like the walking stick and you're going up the mountain. And so I literally see her journeying, and you've taken such a gentle step as you move forward, and you pause to look at the water and the elements of the earth and the wind and the cosmos. Like I feel your essence of your energy, Dawn. And I feel that you just really pause with each moment and you savor it. It's almost like you take every nutrients and you savor within the way you bring it into your essence, and I just want to say, bring in the essence of change, bring in that essence of the will to move forward, because I feel like you embody the spirit energy in such a beautiful way. Let's ask spirit to help move that energy for you, because I do feel they're going to pull you, grandfather spirit. I feel like when you're connecting to your ancestors and your loved ones, I feel like you speak to them and you ask for their guidance. And I say, like 3 days ago or 2 days ago, they make me feel you had a conversation and you were talking and you were asking about this change that Jeffrey's speaking. And then I just want to push you into and nudge you into that and fill into that, if that would make sense. One door closes, the other one opens. Amen to that. Like, so true. Yeah, definitely. I love Sunshine Girl. I love that name. Like, hey.
I do too. Hi, Sunshine Girl.
Yeah, it's so cute, right? Hey, Sunshine. My logo's got suns all over it, girl. So I love it that you're saying that. So lots of love to you, divinely guided, yes, and protected with love. Amen to that. And the frequency of energy, like you will not be put in a position that's wrong, because you are so embodied with all the energies of the essence of the universe. Like I can tap into that. Like I could feel in how the earth surrounds you. I could feel into the wind and the elements and spirit. And so that fear, just let them pull you out of that. So I say, do it afraid. You got to. I feel it. I feel it, girl.
Amen.
So, right. Jeffrey, where are we going next?
Oh, okay. Margaret. Margaret Ricciardone.
I knew you were going to go to her. I knew it. I knew it. Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead,
Margaret.
Jeffrey.
Okay, yeah, Margaret. I can feel the anxiety. I can feel the stress. Everybody, send a little extra love to Margaret right now. Margaret, so I feel like oh my gosh, I just want to hug you. I feel it. And I want to remind you. I want to remind you that everything's going to be okay. Although it might not feel like it at this moment. I want to remind you that you have so much assistance. There's this feeling of spirit. So I want to talk about how sometimes, like, I feel like the visual that I get for you is I feel like you're walking up this mountain, pushing this boulder. You've leaned back on the boulder because you're tired. You have your walking stick and you wedged it up against that boulder to help you hold it up. You're tired of pushing this. And I want to remind you that sometimes it's okay to let go. That change that is happening, that change that you're feeling is an opportunity for you to surrender and let it be what it's supposed to. You have these, like I was talking about earlier, when I was experiencing such change in my life, where I left ethereal claw marks on everything. I was holding on to everything so tightly. And I really want to encourage you just to take a deep breath and let it go. Just let it go. It might feel scary. I feel the resistance, but there is a much greater light on the other side. A lot of times these things that we hold on to in our life turn toxic.
Yeah.
They turn toxic. And that sucks to hear, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And it's the lowest job, and I lost the one I left it for. Oh, lost job. Okay. Right. One of my next words were going to be rejection is spirit's protection. So the fact that you just said you lost this job and you left you left the last one for this one. You were supposed to get out of that last job, my dear. You were supposed to get out of it. And you weren't supposed to be here. This was the catalyst to get you out of that situation. The growth that you have in front of you, the opportunities that you have in front of you are divinely guided. And I really want to remind you of that support that I was talking about at the beginning. So beautiful. So I want to encourage you through this fear, as I said earlier, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. And I want to remind you, like I said at the very start, you're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Feel the fear, do it anyway. Meet spirit halfway. We can only do our best. So here's the thing. When I look at your energy and I feel your fear, I feel your fear. I feel your field around you, your energetic field. There's an opportunity swirling around you that somebody has to bring to you. It's not at your door yet, but I feel like they're like coming to you, and they're like one house down. They're on their way to your front door, but they're one house down. Uh-oh. You were breaking up and I couldn't hear. Uh-oh. I'm not quite sure what I said, Debbie.
She can go back to the replay, Margaret, and you can go back to the replay to hear it. But basically, you were just like, she got fear. It's coming, and she's protected. And so, Margaret, what he's saying is, spirit is protecting you based on coming out of one, and that this is where you're supposed to be, and spirit opening it up for you in a different way.
Yeah.
And you were giving the example of being at the
There's
friend's
somebody
house.
on their way. There's somebody on their way to you with another opportunity. It's
Mhm.
coming from it feels collaborative. It feels like somebody you know knows of this opportunity. And like I said, metaphorically, it's like they're coming to your door, they're just a house away. So give it a little bit of time. Keep reminding yourself that you are going to be okay, and remember, meet spirit halfway. In other words, let people know, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm, putting it out there, planting those seeds. That's how it's going to, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to give you so much love, Margaret. I know you've been following me for a lot of years, and I just want to say I'm sorry that you're in this moment of this situation. As we go through loss, and we spoke, Jeffrey and I, of loss, when we went back to 18 years ago, and letting go of, not by choice, the work, the home, the cars, and our foundation, our solid support. It's like, how do we rebuild and how do we recreate? I feel like a gentleman on the other side is like a father. He comes in and he's going to help you open up these doors into this direction. I feel when this gentleman steps forward, he's like, come on. And so he's going to help you and feel into his essence, like Sunshine Girl says, energy cleanse, so for Jeffrey, he went into Reiki. He started to develop these things to allow spirit to come closer. Is it of the jobs I'm applying for? Is it one of the jobs I'm applying for? Yes. I definitely feel work is coming to you. I do feel that you have the experience. I do feel that you're very knowledgeable. I feel that you were like a supervisor. You have this role of like in charge. I do feel a lot of typing, a lot of writing. I do feel a lot of phone calls. I feel like I'm at a front office in this big building. So I do know that they come to you. You're like the first eyes that they see. So I definitely get the sense that there is a connection there with that. So that's me feeling into your essence. Do a little blessing on your body, cleanse when you were showering, or invite the rainbows of colors. Like all of us, we can just visualize a big old bubble of rainbow and just pop it and just let all the energy fall over us and just kind of cleanse that aura and just fill into our essence and let us absorb those energies, right? And just kind of take the dirt and the old stuff out and just bury it into the earth and say, thank you, spirit. But this gentleman in spirit has your back. I'm so sorry for your loss. And Jeffrey, what a beautiful job you did today here on Transcend with Debbie, Sacred Spiral, Things Network, Derek Okora's page. I mean, the list can go on. And we appreciate each and every one of you for following us. Please don't forget to follow Jeffery. Jeffrey, here we go. There we go. Jeffrey Peck. Please give him a follow on YouTube. Jeffrey, you go live every week, right? You're like live every week.
On Thursdays. So, I mean, Wednesday at 4 p.m. So later on today at 4 o'clock, I'll be on live with Kelly Eckhart of Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. And then it's double feature with Kelly and myself because then I'm on her show hosting with her at 7 p.m. tonight. So
absolutely love that. Yeah, I absolutely love that. And we'll be back here next Wednesday. Claire will be with me as we do spirit art, and she's coming from across the pond. So y'all, we'll see you 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. UK time. Thank you all for always holding space. Thank you. It is the job at the chiropractic office. Ooh, that's where I saw her in the office doing. You get it, girl. Own it, claim it, put your energy in there. It's like, my energy's there. The job is mine. It's mine. It's mine. And put in the beautiful colors in there. And just feel yourself sitting in that chair. Manifest it, girl. Much love, you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everybody.
God bless. Bye.